Salone, he's gone. Dad is gone. My sister's voice came through the phone like a thin, shaking thread ready to snap. She was whispering, but the pain in her tone cut straight through my chest. I sat frozen on the edge of my bed in Chicago, staring at the wall as the world around me blurred. Salone, did you hear me? She whispered again, breath trembling. She was in Raleigh, our hometown. Dad passed away early this morning. He kept asking for you yesterday. He thought you were coming. Her words didn't just hurt. They numb me. Before we continue, please hit that subscribe button and let me know where you're listening from in the comment. My name is Salone Verdon, 24, junior data analyst, first job out of college, and now, a daughter who wasn't there when her father took his last breath. A daughter who'd promised to come, but never made it. A daughter blocked by a man whose entire personality could be summed up in one sentence: stiff neck, stiff shoulders, stiff heart. Because while my father was dying, my HR manager at Skirich Systems said, "Leave denied." And now Dad was gone. My father, Jorel Verdon, was not a man who lived loudly. He didn't yell or brag. He didn't make big speeches. But he had a strength that could carry a whole family. Growing up, he worked 2 jobs, sometimes 3. Not for himself. For us. For me. When I got my acceptance letter for college, he hugged me so tight my ribs hurt. He said, "Go, Salone. Go be everything I couldn't be." He helped me move into my dorm, even though he had work the next morning. He slipped money into my textbooks, pretending he didn't. When things got tough, he would say, "You're stronger than you think." And when I graduated and landed my first job at Skirich Systems, he called every relative we had. He told everyone at church. People stopped me in Raleigh saying, "Your dad is so proud of you." He believed in me more than anyone else. And I wasn't there when he asked for me. Not because I didn't want to be, but because someone behind a stiff desk and a stiff tie thought my life outside work didn't matter. Skirich Systems was a young tech company in Chicago, growing too fast and caring too little. All they wanted was clients, reputation, money. Human beings were just pieces on a chessboard. But nothing embodied Skirich's cold, brittle culture more than our HR manager, Harson Brick. He was a middle-aged man made entirely of straight lines, a square jaw that never relaxed, a stiff neck that barely turned, stiff shoulders permanently locked in place, stiff hands that hovered over his keyboard like claws. Even his voice was stiff, just like a metallic tone that sounded like it came from a policy manual, not a human throat. He didn't yell. He didn't curse. He didn't need to. Harson Brick was the man who acted like HR was a military checkpoint and we were all suspicious travelers. And in the months leading to my father's death, he erased every piece of humanity I tried to hold on to. 6 months earlier, I'd woken up with a fever so high I was shaking. I messaged my manager, who told me to notify HR. I sent Harson an email. I explained I could barely sit up. My head felt like it was stuffed with sand. I needed sick leave. His reply came in 90 seconds. Sick leave requires documentation. You may work from home until proper proof is submitted. I did work, through coughing fits, through dizziness, through shivering so hard I had to mute myself on Zoom. My co-workers were worried. HR wasn't. When I finally got documentation 2 days later, he replied, "Documentation submitted too late for classification. Future requests must be timely." That was cut number 1. It hurt, but I healed, until the next wound. My older brother Yarin was getting married. My whole family was excited. My mother bought matching outfits. My father reserved seats. My sister kept sending me photos of the decorations. I had my flight booked. But that same week, Skirich was preparing a pitch for a huge potential client, Encore Digital. Everyone was frantic. Meetings every hour. People sleeping at their desks. And unlucky me, I was assigned to build the entire data dashboard. A junior analyst. Average performance. Nothing special. My manager approved my leave. But HR approval was the real wall. When I walked into Harson's office, he didn't even look up. "Leave request," he said. "Yes," I replied. "My brother is getting married this weekend." "Denied." My breath cut. "But my manager already approved. I override all leave during client pursuit cycles," he said. "Sir, it's my brother's wedding." "That is unfortunate." His tone didn't shift, but Skirich cannot adjust for personal inconveniences. Personal inconveniences? My brother, my family, my life, sacrificed for a pitch deck. My family cried. My brother tried to hide his disappointment. I didn't go. I stayed up 3 nights adjusting color palettes for a pitch I wouldn't even present. Cut 2. But the deepest wound was still coming. 2 weeks before he died, my father called me from Raleigh. His voice was thin, scared. "Salone, can you come home?" "I'll come," I promised him. "I'll be there soon." I packed my bag, booked a late flight, and rushed to Skirich to get emergency leave approved. I knocked on Harson's office door. He didn't say, "Come in." He just raised one stiff hand and motioned. I explained everything. "My dad is in the hospital. He's not doing well. He asked to see me. I need to fly out today." He stared at me like I was describing the weather. "Is there official medical documentation?" "They're still running tests," I said. "My sister sent photos. That is not sufficient," he said calmly. "Sir, he may not have long." "We are short-staffed and in the middle of client review preparations," he replied. "Your absence would disrupt workflow." I felt myself shaking. "Please. This is my father." His face didn't move. "Not an inch. Support your family financially," he said. "That is more useful at this time. Money to replace presence. Money to replace comfort. Money to replace goodbye." I left his office broken. I planned to leave anyway, but I planned too late. "Salone, he's gone." My sister's voice ended whatever hope I still carried, and everything inside me collapsed. He died thinking I didn't come because I didn't care, because I didn't try, because work mattered more. But the truth was simple. A stiff-necked HR manager decided my father's last request wasn't important enough. Later that morning, when I went to inform HR formally, Harson looked up with his usual blank stare. "I just received news," I said quietly. "My father passed away." He gave a small nod, as if I'd told him the printer was down. "My condolences," he said calmly. "You may take 2 days of bereavement leave." 2 days? For a man already gone, for a goodbye I never gave, for a wound he helped create. Those 2 days meant nothing, just like I meant nothing to him. But what he didn't know was, I was done being powerless. I was done being quiet. I was done losing. I didn't quit. I didn't shout. I didn't demand justice. I returned to work like a shadow, silent, cold, and watching. Because revenge like mine needed patience. I wanted precision. I wanted permanence. I wanted consequences that couldn't be reversed. So I played the long game. Skirich bragged about their perfect compliance system. But I worked in data. I knew systems never forget. Every denied leave request. Every altered record. Every missing timestamp. Every violation of policy. Every contradiction. I collected screenshots, archived logs, altered approvals, deleted records that weren't really deleted, emails shifting blame, retaliatory patterns, audio clips from meetings. I didn't add anything false. I didn't need to. The truth was powerful enough. This took weeks, but I wasn't in a rush. Revenge should simmer, not boil over. Over several weekends, I crafted a detailed report, 27 pages long. It contained HR violations, broken state labor laws, FMLA violations, wrongfully denied medical leave, PTO misuse, system tampering, evidence of retaliation, mishandled emergency requests. Then I added the final section. Employee was denied emergency leave to visit critically ill parent, resulting in inability to be present before parent's death. Written professionally. No emotion. No anger. Just the truth. Cold and clean. Anonymous. Then I waited. Not nervously but patiently. Time was on my side. 6 weeks later, Skirich's building went silent as 4 investigators entered with badges. The whole company froze. People whispered, "Did someone report something big? What's happening?" I kept typing quietly, like I knew nothing. Investigators walked directly into HR, into Harson's office. I watched the confidence drain from his face through the glass wall. For the next 5 weeks, investigators combed through HR logs, leave request trails, timestamps, system backups, decision patterns, employee records, internal communications. Everything I submitted matched everything they found. And slowly, beautifully, I watched Harson unravel. He stopped drinking coffee. He stopped straightening his tie. His stiff shoulders slumped. His stiff neck tilted. His stiff voice cracked. He became shaky, nervous version of himself. And I felt nothing but quiet justice. It was a Thursday morning. Investigators walked in again, calm and firm. They went straight to HR, and 20 minutes later Harson Brick, the man with the stiff neck, was escorted out of the building. No goodbyes. No last speech. No power left. Just a man finally living the consequences he forced on others. Whispers rippled through the office. What did he do? Is he getting charged? Is this about the denied leave cases? I said nothing. I didn't have to. Justice was already in motion. Skirich faced heavy fines, mandatory HR reconstruction, a public compliance report, FMLA violation penalties, 3 managerial resignations, a forced audit of every employee leave request. The CEO personally apologized to employees. And me. He offered me a promotion. I declined, quietly, professionally, then handed in my resignation. I didn't leave broken. I left in control. I returned to Raleigh months later, stood before my father's grave, and laid my hand on the cool stone. "I'm sorry, Dad," I whispered. "I'm so sorry." My sister hugged me tight. When I finally stepped back, I said, "The man who kept me from you will never keep another family apart again." And for the first time since his death, I felt something close to peace. Never let anyone convince you that your personal life is less important than your job. Companies replace people. Families don't. Loved ones don't. Time doesn't return. And when someone uses power to take something priceless from you, you don't have to fight with anger. You fight with truth, with patience and professionalism. Because the quietest revenge is often the one they never recover from. If you enjoyed this story, please smash that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and share this story. Share a time when you faced workplace injustice and how you were able to handle it. I'd be happy to hear your story.